Greetings to you all. I am Dr. Sumathi, Assistant Professor of Physics, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivakasi. Today we are going to learn about the meaning and objective of the research. So the topic we are going to see is some of the aspects relate to the fundamentals of research, in which we will see what is the meaning of research and what are the different types of research objectives. So as you can see, the meaning of research, the word research is having two terms. One is re, another one is search, in which re means it is again. It's a prefix over here, and it is meaning is again, and the search means to find something. Hence the research means to find or search for something again. Here some of the abbreviations for the research. R stands for rational way of thinking, E expands expert and exhaustive treatment, S stands for search and solution, E is nothing but exactness, A is for analysis, R for relation of the facts that we are going to study, C is the critical observation, so careful planning, constructive attitude, and finally H stands for honesty and hard working. So why do we do research? To get the desired degree along with its consequent benefits, desire to face the challenge in achieving the unsolved problems, and it able to get the intellectual joy of doing some creative works, and it desire to be a service to the society, and finally it is desired to get the respectability towards the audience and directive of government, employment and conditions. In the continuation of the research, why do we do research? Validate the intuitions, improve methods towards the research, and it will enhance the demands of the jobs, and it is able to publish the papers and the patents which is based on your ideas, based on your experiments, based on your readings with the originality. Now let's understand the meaning of research in detail. Research is a systematic investigation, which means in research there is a collection and the analysis of the data. To answer this particular question, collection means to gather the data, and analyze means to examine or study the collection of data. Research also includes the interpretations of the existing facts, laws and theories, which means the various facts and laws which are already existent, which are present currently, they are going to interpret in detail. Interpretation also means understanding or explaining the existing laws and facts, which is more detailed way of manner. Finally, and the third step, a researcher may also includes the discovery of new facts and laws and theories. Research may also includes revision of accepted laws in the light of new facts which we are going to study. Finally, we have to apply those facts into the particular topic. Finally, fourth step, now we call of research, they are going to be revised manner because of the new facts which are emerged or have came into the light because of the research. And finally, the last step, the main purpose of the research is to arrive at the conclusion, which means this after completing all the steps in research, the researcher will arrive at the conclusion. So now let's see what are the 5 basic steps in research process. So the first step is problem definition. In this step, the researcher has to define the research problems or selections of the research topics based on your field. A research problem is basically a research question. A researcher which is going to be conducted based on this research question, and the researcher is going to find the answer for the particular question at the end of the research. And the second step is research design and development. This step includes setting of objective of the research, deciding of the data analysis method which we are going to adopt the situation, and the data collections for the analysis data. Finally, design the questionnaires based on the data analysis. In the third step, which is data collection, in which it is required for conducting the research is actually going to be collected. That is, the data which is collected is then analyzed for the fourth step, which is called data analysis. At the end of this, the fifth step, after arriving at a conclusion, the report of the researcher is to be prepared and then finally presented. Now, let's see the different types of characteristics of good research design. It should be, we should select the research topics according to the field, forming research designs, forming sampling designs, collections of data, and these data are to be analyzed, and finally the analyzed data have to write the thesis reports, which is almost theory grounded, and finally it is feasible of implementations. It should be flexible, economical, and it is unbiased. It should be fulfill the objectives of the all research. So also it should be more appropriate in the aspects of the research. It provides blueprint for the research. It limits the boundaries of the research activities, and it is able to investigate and anticipate the potential problems. Now, let's see the different types of research objectives one by one. And the research objectives are: first one is specific, second one is measurable, third one is achievable, fourth one is relevant, and time bound goals. So what are all the research objectives? Let's see in detail. Good research objectives provides direction and focus for the study and help to ensure that the study is feasible and achievable. This is the example of research objectives, and those objectives should be aligned with the research design in order to ensure that the study is feasible, relevant, and focused. Finally, the research design should be based on the research questions which are relevant to your field and objectives, and also should allow for the collection and analysis of the data needed to answer the researcher questions. Finally, the important features. So let's elaborate the topic, which is a plan first. So specify the sources and types of the information relevant to the research problems. Strategical thinking, which approach will be used for gathering and analyzing the data. And finally, the time and budget must be needed, for most of the studies are done under those constraints. Next, systematic research, which is all the steps must be interrelated one into another. Strategic, again, it is one of the most important characteristics, which is agreeing with the principles of logics. And finally, the time and budgets with the same constraints. Conclusion should be based on the accidents and the observations. So finally, the research questions and objectives will be based on a refined and the revised version. So it should be concluded feedback, new information, and changes. Say for example, if the researcher questions what are all the effects of social media on mental health among the adolescents, so the researcher should answer appropriately. Design must be involved survey of the adolescents. First, we must do the survey of the adolescents' social media use and the mental health, followed by the statistical analysis of the data collected. Finally, the research questions and objectives may needed to be refined and the revised version based on the feedback and the new information and the changes in the research environment. Refining research questions and objectives, which helps to ensure and enhance the study of remains focused and relevant, and that is to be addressed the most important questions. And if the initial research objectives, what you evaluate the effectiveness of new teaching, it is useful to the method for improving the students of the performance, which is called feedback, and in math, but the data analysis shows that the method is not affected, which we are going to study in the new information, and those collected information we have to face the challenges which will create the changes among the researchers. And finally, the research objectives may need to be refined, which means the focus of identifying alternative teaching methods, which is called overall the research questions and objectives are essential components of the researcher's study as provided focus, direction and purpose of the research. At the end of this session, I may conclude with this quote, "Science is not belief but the will to find out." Thank you.